I am Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Abstract Essay, where ideas take shape, thoughts find depth, and every conversation explores the art of thinking beyond the obvious. And today I have my special guest. He is the founder and CEO of Glenn Toby Enterprises, none other than Dr. Glenn Toby. Welcome, Dr. Glenn on Abstract Essay. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Absolutely. I'm a serial entrepreneur, pioneer in music, hip hop, house music. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens. Have had the honor of managing talent such as LL Cool J, Jason Mitchell, the actor, and several NFL football players in America here. We did over $300 million in gross business on field. I'm involved in philanthropy, and the philanthropy that I do, it's called the Book Bank Foundation. It is a not-for-profit charity. We deal with the lost, the lonely, and the forgotten.
Interesting, Dr. Glenn. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And today, let's talk about managing millionaires with a mission driven mindset. What does it mean to you to manage millionaires with a mission driven mindset rather than just focusing on wealth?
I think, there's lots of wealth, spiritual wealth. You can be wealthy with your health. There's rich in spirit. Generally, people think of wealth as just money, but there's human capital, there's financial capital, there's relationship capital, there's emotional capital. We have to monetize all these things because a lot of the traditional mindset of thinking has changed. People thought of fiat currency or gold or the exchange of just money as the truest value on earth. People, humanity, decency, and purpose exceed money. When you are resolute where you stand, if you can bring your gifts, your talents, and your purpose to the world, money will chase you. But when you chase money, there's no return.
How do you define the difference between managing money and managing people with influence?
The difference is the influence can bring people to health, to wealth, or to purpose. The money alone, it's just transitional. It changes hands once or a million times, but once it exchanges one, it doesn't return unless there's a transaction. When you deal in the spirit, when you deal in purpose, when you bring value, when you're fair, it's reciprocal forever. There's a spiritual, there's a legacy, there's a purpose that's defined. You can create things that'll last beyond your life.
What values must guide a mission driven millionaire, and how do you help them align those values, Dr. Glenn?
I think you have to be the example of that excellence. Fair exchange. You don't want to take more than you give. You don't want to give more than you take. You want to have a balance. And you want your work to speak for you. Your work has to say who and what you are, not just the conversation. And if you do great work, it'll last as long as a great building that's built for centuries, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. And the evidence of that is people who leave wealth to their families, people who provide purpose and value, and not just economics that create jobs and sustainability and opportunity for others, but it also creates a mindset. And it's the example of goodwill so that we're living in a world that's measurable, a world that has purpose and will continue to feed not just food, not just the spirit, not just the mind, but the ecosystem.
Dr. Glenn, balancing wealth and purpose. How do you help millionaires balance financial growth with their desire to create meaningful impact?
I think one of the ways we do is by dealing in decency and honesty, transparency. And when you do that, whatever money your client has earned or their wealth or their assets or whatever they have belongs to them. If you're a measurable, honorable person, you'll get only what you deserve. We typically believe I say it's not always all about the money, but it's about all the money that you are deserving or that you've earned or that you're supposed to give. It's about that part of it, but that's not the only part of it. It's not just the money, but the money can be everything if it's done properly and effectively. It can make the difference.
Make a difference for sure. What are the biggest misconceptions about wealthy individuals who choose a purpose driven path?
I think most people see wealthy people as greedy or they stole something or they were lucky and they inherited it. But, they're systems that have passed on for years. There are many good families and good people, and many of them we don't know about. They're private. And wealth is many different things in different communities. There's someone with $1 million who can have the same joy, purpose, resolve, and meet all of their needs as equal as someone that has $10 million. Whether you're in a Rolls Royce or a Volkswagen, if you get there safe and go back and forward, and you're able to do what you need to do, and you're not upside down, bankrupt, you're not in pain, you're not taking valuable money that you could use to build other things. It doesn't matter whether it's $1 billion or 10 million or 100,000. Wealth is just not in the amount. Mass amounts of wealth are generally and historically, it's been proven that people generally, because of psychology, can lose their ground, can lose their purpose, and lose their way. So when you have a systemic practice of being ethical and being purposeful, you can bring others along who have other gifts and can help you build a lasting legacy that is purpose.
Lasting legacy indeed. How does philanthropy fit into a mission driven millionaires? Strategy for legacy and success.
Well, it fits by being the evidence and being an example of greatness. So as you're appreciating the greatness, it doesn't just die with you. It doesn't end with the last transaction. It doesn't end with the last dollar. It doesn't end with the last day. You're edifying and teaching and training other people how to not just be greater than where they are now, but greater than you. And that greatness is passed on and it's appreciated, not just culturally, emotionally, and spiritually, but in every way.
Right. Interesting, Dr. Glenn. And challenges and complexities. What unique challenges arise when managing individuals who have both vast resources and strong personal missions?
Well, every personality is different, is different as a fingerprint, as different as a snowflake. But, when the conditions of weather change, a snowflake will not live in July. And if you realize that people have nuance difference, cultural difference, spiritual differences, you have to be adaptive to keep principles, apply the science of money, because money is a scientific practice, learning how to manage it, learning how to grow it. You have to be able to adapt to not just the environment economically, but changes in time, changes with people, with challenges that come. You have to be adaptive and you have to be and well informed, and you have to realize that you're working for someone, and more so working with someone.
Dr. Glenn, how do you guide them when their financial goals and mission goals appear to conflict?
Well, I generally give a resolve by allowing the client or the project to be where the person's able to make an evaluation and make a clear understanding that merits or benefits them. You have to let the client lead. When they ask you for leadership, you can guide. And if you move ahead of them and lead and they follow, it's fine. But oftentimes you have to let people discover or experience on their own terms. What's really important as a protector or a manager or advisor, you have to put them on notice that they're now going to have a victory of their choice or the loss is theirs. And you have to protect yourself as a leader too, to make sure that you've demonstrated and made it clear that these are their decisions and you're going to follow their wish.
Have you ever heard to help a client redefine what success means to them beyond money?
Well, generally they have to experience. You can lead a horse to water, but it's up to them to drink. I can identify and see something as purpose filled or of value, but that person may not. You're going to have some clients, they don't have the same ideology, the same desires or purpose that you do. So it doesn't make a difference. It's up to them. It's up to the person. You have to lead them and put them in the best situations. And it's up to them and the conditions that you preset the strategies, the design, the blueprint with good communication, and hopefully they'll get what they want. If not, they are either going to let you go or you have to relieve yourself sometimes. But generally, it works out when you're on the same team with the same vision.
Dr. Then, how do you handle egos or power dynamics that come with managing millionaires?
You can't handle them. You have to let them handle themselves. Emotional intelligence is so important. So you have to take your position. You have to know not to take it personal as business. You have to have a resolve that you're able to be in your mind, your spirit, or in your calling, not to be drawn into a situation that's going to blow up on you. And it is business. Your emotions have no place in it. As long as your safety, your morals, your ethics, and the precept of what and how you operate is not violated or taken away from you, much of it'll pass over. You can ignore it, put it on the record, let the person know you're uncomfortable or you feel that they're not managing it right. And if you need to know how to dismiss yourself, sometimes walking away and taking a loss is better than staying in longer, and then it's a permanent loss.
The strategy and impact. Can you give an example of strategy you've used to align a millionaire's wealth with their mission?
Absolutely. I typically would find other sources, resources, partnerships, or identified products or participants, right? Joint venture partners, and let the leader, the client, make the decisions that they want. If I'm not as strong in some areas, then I'll find someone that's stronger. I'll protect myself by limiting their participation with the client, whether it's a vendor, whether it's a service provider, or whether it is. Someone that they're going to be operating with. I make sure that they make the final decisions. And I do as much work as I can to edify, advise them, and do the due diligence so that they can make the best decision.
The best decision for sure. And what role does risk management play in ensuring both financial security and mission fulfillment?
Well, it's good to have that kind of management because if something goes wrong, you can cut your losses. You'll have recourse, insurances, and reinsurances that you can continue to do what you need to do and recover. So before you go to it, you need to have options. You need to have insurance, protections, and you need to have several different providers that can help you continue to drive and move and help the client complete their mission.
Interesting, Dr. Glenn. What role does, or yes, management play in encouraging both financial security and mission fulfillment?
The role is to give them the best tools, the best opportunity to be successful and have everything they need, almost as though you're doing a job. And there's a toolbox. You want to make sure the toolbox has everything that it has in it, that if the conditions change, something goes wrong, they still have the protections or the products or the ability to perform the way they need to on their own. So maybe you have to reassign them or put them in a different environment or a different space or rebuild, but they'll still always have those tools to build.
Yes, indeed. So, can you give example of those toolbox, Dr. Glenn?
Well, if it's financial, it would be generally an accountant or certified public accountant, a banker, an attorney, a strategist, an advisor. It would be a best in class service provider, transportation, whether it's purchasing equipment, whether it's technology, consultancy, providing them with everything that they need to build their empire, no matter how big or small it is.
How big it is. Oh, yes. So, how do you measure the impact of mission driven approach, both for the client and society?
Well, by looking at what it is that they want to achieve, by looking at where the client started before you met them, where they are. Those are the metrics that you use to see how much more successful they are. Or if they're not gaining the success, what do you need to do to help position it so they're better than when they came?
Better, for sure. Better. So, what industries or causes do you see mission driven millionaires gravitating toward today?
I think health and life sciences Like at RCP Capital, where I work with an amazing group of venture capitalists, we're in the space of health sciences, medical, just changing the world with technology and medicine to try to make people live longer and live better. So I think finding a niche or a category or a space that you can bring value in that brings value means you'll be in the game a lot longer because you're not dealing with trend. You're not dealing with something that blows with the wind. You're dealing with something that has purpose and is always in demand.
Hmm. Let's talk about the lesson and legacy. Dr. Glenn, what lessons can everyday people learn from how mission driven millionaires think about purpose and impact?
By taking a look at people that are greedy or people that get misaligned from their purpose, they end up in prison, companies fail, great ideas never come to fruition because of selfishness or not being focused. I think looking at history and also taking inventory of oneself to see what do you need to do to stay on point. It's the greatest way to get to the finish line. Straight path.
Straight path indeed. And how has working with these individuals influenced your own perspective on wealth and meaning?
Mm, by realizing that there have been great wins since the beginning of time for people that stay on focus and stay with the right team, using good ethics and good morality, even if the company doesn't go to $1 billion, if it's 100 million, a few million, and you keep your soul and you keep your space and you're healthy and you're happy and you bring value to others, it's as rewarding as the money.
Definitely. It's priceless. If
Sure
you
is.
could give one piece of advice to a millionaire starting their mission driven journey, what would it be?
Don't put the money before you. Put your spirituality, put your heart, your mind, your passion ahead of the money, and the money will push you. It'll come to you.
Let the money will works for you, people. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, Dr. Glenn, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast, law 101 and mental health 101, love letters in third season, and movie 101 review and music 101 in fourth season, and science 101 and sex 101 in each first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. Finally, Dr. Glenn, what legacy do you hope your work leaves in shaping our health, our wealth, and purpose to intersect in the future?
I hope that the songs that I've written, the movies that I've made, the tears that I've shed, and the laughs that I have laughed in the universe they bring some sentimental or emotional or spiritual value when I'm gone. I want to die greater than I lived.
Yes, indeed, Dr. Glenn Toby. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge
Good to see you
and
again, Daniel. Thank you for having me.
yes, and wisdom. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your projects, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Absolutely. Please go to my website, Dr. Glenn Toby, DrGlennToby.com. Listen to me Saturday nights like Daniel, Eastern Time in the United States of America, streaming on the freshest FM. It's called Global Dance Party, where I'm DJing live and an on-air personality. And of course, the Winner's Circle. Check me out on IG, TikTok, social media as Glenn Toby, GlennToby.
Yes, people, let's support Dr. Glenn Toby because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering advocacy to come. So, Dr. Glenn, thank you so much for your time.
Good night.
Have a good one,
You too.
and please do come over again to all my
Always a pleasure,
podcasts.
Daniel. Thank you. Good to see you.
Yes, can we do mental health next time?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yes, and thank you so much. More to come, people.
Where are you right now?
I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia.
So
Yes.
you're in LA time, right?
Yes.
So
Pacific
for
Standard
you,
Time. Eastern Time. You're Eastern Time, I think.
it's 8:35 where you are.
Yes, sir.
Good. Rest
Yeah.
up, brother. Good to see you again. Talk
Good
soon.
to see you. More to come, people. See you soon.